Welcome to Sabbath School Daily, where this quarter we have been studying from this lesson, Psalms. This week we have been studying from lesson 13, which has the title, Wait on the Lord, and today is Tuesday's lesson, which has the title, Bringing in the Sheaves. In today's lesson, Psalm 126 beautifully encapsulates the theme of God's deliverance and its impact on the lives of his people. The psalm reflects on past liberations as a source of unending hope and inspiration. The joy from past deliverances, described as dreamlike in its intensity, encourages current generations to relive and internalize those moments. The lesson sums it up beautifully by saying, the Lord's miraculous deliverances in the past are an inexhaustible source of inspiration for God's people and their source of hope for the future. The past deliverance was so great that it could be described as a dream come true experience. That's in Isaiah 29, 7 and 8. Notice that the generation that praises the Lord in Psalm 126 for his past deliverances of his people from captivity is presently in captivity. So when we read Psalm 126, we see the significance of these words. Look at what it says here in verse 1 through 4. It says, "When the Lord brought back the captivity of Zion, we were like those who dream. Then our mouth was filled with laughter, and our tongue with singing. Then they said among the nations, the Lord has done great things for them. The Lord has done great things for us, and we are glad. Bring back our captivity, O Lord, as the streams in the south." So this metaphor of streams in the south is a powerful illustration of God's transformative power. Just as arid lands are suddenly rejuvenated by rain, God can turn around seemingly hopeless situations. This idea is further reinforced by the imagery of sowing in tears and reaping in joy, symbolizing the journey from sorrow to happiness, guided by divine providence. That appears here in verse 5 and 6 that says, "Those who sow in tears shall reap in joy. He who continually goes forth weeping, bearing seed for sowing, shall doubtless come again with rejoicing, bringing his sheaves with him." The harvest motif in Psalm 126 extends beyond agricultural practices to spiritual lessons. The laborious sowing and tending of fields, paralleled with the trials faced by God's people, are seen as leading to a joyous harvest, a metaphor for salvation and the fulfillment of God's promises. This imagery also points to the eventual restoration of God's kingdom, an event eagerly anticipated for all who await Christ's second coming. So, reflecting on personal experiences of God's intervention, as highlighted in this psalm, reminds us that God is active in our lives. These experiences where we have seen the Lord's hand at work provide us with the reservoir of hope and reassurance that we need, especially during challenging times. In essence, Psalm 126 teaches us about the rhythm of spiritual life, times of trial followed by times of blessing. It calls us to maintain faith and patience, trusting in God's timing and his ultimate plan for restoration and salvation. So as you go about studying today's lesson, remember to relate what we just read in these verses to the title, Bringing in the Sheaves. There are some times where we are sowing in tears, but reaping in joy. And that happens all the time in life when we go through trials and hardships, perplexities, and we cry out to God, and in tears and in confusion, we ask that he provide answers. And sometimes, look, God does not provide answers, but later on, we will bring in the sheaves of whatever happened in the excitement and joy of what God has done in our life. Perhaps not through the answers during the moment of confusion, but certainly going through those moments provides us with more faith in God as he leads us in life. Again, not always through answers, but through certainty that he is in control, certainty that he cares, and that he is listening to our prayers always, caring for us and guiding us through the future. May the Lord bless you as you study today's lesson. There's a lot to be studied here. Look up the Bible verses, fill out the questions that you find here. Also, remember to comment down below. I love hearing from you, and please remember to like, to share, and to subscribe to our videos. We release one every day. May the Lord bless you, and I hope to see you again here tomorrow for another Sabbath School Daily.